In the expansion of the conventional cinema canon, the relationship between the theatre and the spectator has become more fluid over time. Motion picture houses that once dominated the cinema and entertainment industry are now having to fight for the attention of their viewers in the age of new media. In the cinema space, the viewer is passive in their watching. They are separated between themselves and the screen, only participating through a voyeuristic lens. Director Alfred Hitchcock is known for using the voyeuristic medium of film to emphasize the audience's participation in the film itself. Through the eyes of the character portraying this behaviour, Jeff in Rear Window peers into the lives of the people around him, and as he does this, the audience too becomes aware of their own watching within the boundaries of the cinema space. However, new technologies in virtual reality and mixed reality have changed the way that viewers interact with the spectacle of the cinema. VR gives you the power to literally take a step inside a film and go from a passive spectator to a part of an immersive experience. This allows the audience to have a deeper connection to the people and stories within the film that can't be ascertained from the normal viewership. The rate at which this technological shift is progressing has arguably been exacerbated by fewer people going to the cinema and the rise of ticket prices brought on throughout the COVID-19 pandemic in an attempt to raise economic growth of the industry. Cinematic storytelling usually follows Todorov's theory of narrative structure, whereby there is an equilibrium, a disruption, a disequilibrium, a resolution, and then a new equilibrium or restored order. But with immersive cinema, the narrative structure becomes more about living the story than telling the story. The boundaries of modern storytelling are broken with immersive cinema. The viewer is afforded an autonomy when it comes to cinematic virtual reality, and they are able to control the narrative that they choose to see. They are offered a more intimate and personal experience that doesn't separate the audience from the content and the characters of the film like the traditional cinema does. The 360-degree filmmaking also breaks the traditional frame and gives an even greater depth to the images on the individual screens. One filmmaker who is putting the audience at the centre of her films is Karen Palmer. In her film Riot, the emotional responses of the viewer change the outcome of the film and how far you progress with the narrative. This is the way the technology works.
Riot monitors three emotions: calm, anger, and fear. The webcam will be watching you as you are watching the film and determine the average of your emotions. Your eye tracking will determine your attention and your interest, and in that way, the narrative will respond and follow a character that you're interested in. So you are watching, in essence, a bespoke film that reflects your reality.
However, these virtual immersive films are subject to the user's access to either their own VR headsets or to go to an exhibition space which may not be universally accessible to a wider audience. Another form of immersive cinema that is becoming more dominant in the mainstream is that of the secret cinema and backyard cinema, who create real-life worlds from popular films or TV shows. This type of immersion relies on the audience's preconceived ideas of the films and their worlds, but gives them a chance to step inside and become part of the film by fully integrating themselves into this reality, using all of the senses that VR technology cannot. Alison Griffiths collapses the distinction of catharsism and the cinema in her book Shivers Down Your Spine. She states that immersive viewing is done through a revered gaze, whereby the audience is so transfixed in the spectacle of the cinema that they reach a sense of catharsism similar to that felt in a place of worship. In the politics of the public space, she believes that immersive cinema has the power to give viewers a truly unique and individual experience controlled by them and the profound connection with the screen. With the oversaturation of screen technology in our lives now, there is a growing need for a stimulating and unique experience when it comes to the cinema. I believe that in the age of the pandemic, audiences are more likely to crave stimulation of all of the senses, and will opt for an immersion event or virtual reality screening rather than going to an archetypal cinema theatre, especially when the advancement of home cinema streaming services and technology have gained popularity in the past few years. If we take into account Marshall McLuhan's theory that the medium is the message, one must question whether a pre-existing film itself is what audiences will want to see in an immersive or reconstructive way, or whether the technological advancements and viewing conditions of the environment is what makes this experience immersive and unique. VR's potential to change the shape of filmmaking, storytelling, and the cinematic experience will surely make the cinema theatre as we know it to be enjoyed for the spectacle it is as an individual but shared moment.